It is a picture-perfect mid-September afternoon at Wrigley Field as the Reds hit town for the weekend. Lots of sunshine, mild temperatures with a light lake breeze as the Cubs open up a 7-game homestand. And we're set for the Hyundai leadoff man on WGN. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Wrigley Field. It's the leadoff man. I'm Len Kasper. The Cubs coming off a 4-2 road trip. Meanwhile, the Reds, after a 7-game winning streak, lost all 4 games in Colorado, which did not help the Cubs at all. But in talking about the Cubs this season, one team they've dominated, the Pittsburgh Pirates. They just swept them in a 3-game series at PNC Park. They've won 9 of 11 against the Pirates, and they still have 4 games against them during the final week of the season here at Wrigley Field. So we update the standings in the wild card, and it's been status quo. Really, the only change is that the Braves struggling lately. The Cubs are now in a 4th-place tie, but still a distant 8.5 out in the wild card. And when we come back, we'll hear from the manager, Lou Piniella, on Alfonso Soriano. But as we go to break, let's look at today's Hyundai dealer of the game, World Hyundai in Matson, Illinois. We'll be back. Dome just over 250 in the first half, but hitting 296 since the All-Star break last year. Really struggled hitting under 220 in the second half. That's who's in the zone, brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Been a tough year for Alfonso Soriano. Had a really good stretch early in the season, but he didn't play at all on this last road trip due to the soreness in his left knee. Let's get an update on Soriano and really some thoughts about the entire year from the manager, Lou Piniella.
When he left spring training, everything was fine. Halfway through the season, he started encountering some problems with his knee, but it's not of a serious nature, so he should be ready to go for sure by spring training. And look, and possibly he might play some here the rest of the year, but I would think that's doubtful.
Is that kind of a microcosm of the way things have gone this
I don't know about microcosm. Injuries are part of the game. And we've had our share. Other teams have had injuries too. We've had it to our key people for longer periods of time. But look, Has it affected our performance? Yeah, probably so. Our rotation's been fine. You know, we've been watching pitch counts carefully all year, and I'll tell you though, we've had injuries there too. I mean, Dempster's with his toe, that was a freak sort of thing. Lilly with the knee and the shoulder. Zambrano's been on the DL twice. So you know, we've had some injuries in the rotation, but right now, you know, we got the 5 in there, and we've got, you know, where's Alani that can start if we need. We've got Caradon, we've got Samardzija, so you know, we've got some backup just in case we need it.
Will you pick up Fukudome as a long-term option at leadoff heading into next year even?
It depends on what the club does over the winter. You know, we'll see.
You like him there?
I like him at the top part of the lineup. I don't know about specifically the leadoff spot. The way we're put together here, he and Ontario basically are our best options. Depending on what happens over the winter, we would stay that way. But if we got somebody that could really, you know, steal bases and yeah, that was capable of stealing 30 or 40 bases, that would change, obviously.
That's manager Lou Piniella. We'll talk about today's starting pitchers when we return on the Leadoff Man. Cubs baseball, the first of a 3-game weekend set and a 7-game homestand. Coming up next.
WGN Sports.
It is a beautiful day for Chicago Cubs baseball here on WGN Sports. Should be a great weekend here on the north side. The Cubs are back home for a 7-game homestand following up a 4-2 road trip, and today they welcome in Dusty Baker's Cincinnati Reds. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. Again, the Cubs winning 4 of 6 on their trip. The Reds had won 7 in a row before getting swept in a 4-game set in Denver, and Derek Lee in the lineup and probably will do some damage today.
I would imagine so, Len. I'll tell you, in an inconsistent year for the Cubs offensively, Derek Lee has been one constant. After hitting 189 in the first month of the season, he's hit 295 or better in every month since then. Had a great road trip back east.
Kind of a benchmark start today for Rich Harden. The Cubs were hoping to get at least 25 starts out of him, and this is number 25.
Well, and one thing we know about Rich Harden recently, he has been on some kind of a strikeout tear. 19 punch-outs in his last 10 innings over 2 starts. You see what he's done against the Reds here at Wrigley in his career. Great numbers.
Justin Lear will try to match what he did against the Cubs on August 5th.
Crafty right-hander. He'll throw the kitchen sink at the Cubs hitters today.
This is, of course, the 8th anniversary of 9/11, and it's a national day of service and remembrance, and we'll send it down to the field. The colors being presented by the Dixon City and Dixon Rural Fire Departments.
Please rise and kindly remove your caps as you direct your attention to the area behind home plate to welcome the Dixon City and Dixon Rural Fire Departments as they present the colors of the United States on this special day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and join Chicago favorite Wayne Messmer as he honors the United States by performing God Bless America, followed by our national anthem with Gary Pressey at the Lowry organ.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
is drinkability. The Illinois Lottery. Mega Millions can find you every Tuesday and Friday. Mega Millions. Have fun. Play responsibly. Comcast. Catch more games in HD on Comcast Digital Cable. Call 1-888-4BEST-TV today. By Pepsi. Every generation refreshes the world. Visit refresheverything.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on.
You are watching the Chicago Cubs on WGN-TV. Chicago Cubs baseball in beautiful high definition is brought to you by Comcast. Just perfect weather. We could do this every single day, and they're all day games this weekend. We'll be very happy people.
Yeah, beautiful day for a ball game here at Wrigley Field. Bright sunshine, blue skies, green grass. Play ball.
Both teams wearing the red stars and stripes caps on this National Day of Service and Remembrance, and also Major League Baseball has its Welcome Back Veterans program. And we'll be joined a little later by Admiral Timothy Keating, Navy 4-star admiral, who threw out the ceremonial first pitch today and will also conduct our 7th inning stretch and got a wonderful ovation.
They've got a pretty good arm, too. Yeah, the Admiral's allowed to call his own pitches. You know, he said that was a strike. We'll buy that.
The 8th anniversary of the tragic events of September 11, 2001. And we certainly remember and honor those victims and all the firefighters and police officers and everyone who did everything they could to help out that day. And baseball, obviously, Bob, took a break. And I think baseball also helped kind of heal this country just a little bit. Added a little diversion when everybody came back.
I've talked about it many times since 9/11/01, how proud everybody involved in that 01 World Series was, just to be able to provide somewhat of a distraction for those people who needed it at that time. And it's one of my proudest moments in uniform, to be able to take people away from the tragedy of that time and give them a little entertainment for a few hours.
The Reds come in 5th place, 20.5 out right now, 14 under 500. But up until they played the Rockies, they were playing good baseball. Stubbs, Yanish, Votto at the top. Phillips, Rowland, and Gomes, some veterans in the middle. McDonald, Tatum, and Lear at the bottom.
Hey, let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively behind Rich Harden. Brought to you by Pepsi. Pepsi, refresh everything. Micah Hoffbauer with a good offensive day in Pittsburgh gets the start in left field today. Fukudome in center. Bradley over in right field. Ramirez and Terrio will man the left side of the infield. Jeff Baker and Derek Lee on the right side. Giovanni Soto will be doing the catching today for right-hander Rich Harden. I mentioned he has been on some kind of a strikeout tear. 19 punch-outs in his last 10 innings pitched. He surrendered only 6 earned runs in that time, coming off a real good outing against the Mets when he struck out 10 in 5 innings.
We'll check in on the umpires. Ed Rapiwana will handle the plate from Connecticut, now lives in South Florida. Bill West over at third is the crew chief of this particular group. 4th start for Harden against the Reds this season. And if he holds true to form, he'll go about 6 innings, give up a couple of runs, and strike out 8 or 9.
Yeah, as much fun as it is to watch Rich Harden punch out opposing batters, I think he and Lou and Larry would like to see a lot of quick outs in this ball game today and give Rich the opportunity to perhaps work into the 7th or 8th inning of the ball game.
We are underway. Ball 1 to Drew Stubbs, who's playing center field. Five homers, just 8 RBIs, so obviously has not come up a lot with runners on base. That's a strike. And it's 2-1. on Stubbs. 72 degrees as we get started. The wind out of the east at 6 miles an hour. Stubbs ahead of a changeup facing Rich Harden for the first time.
You saw those 5 home runs for Stubbs in 97 at bats coming into play today, which is a complete turnaround from his minor league season. He only had 4 home runs in over 400 at bats at the AAA level.
Harden coming back on a 3-2 and missed wide for ball 4. We'll bring up Paul Janisch. The Reds basically lately have been like this. They pitched really well and they haven't hit. They lost all 4 games at Coors Field, 8 runs total in those 4 games. But again, they've pitched a lot better here recently. They have suffered a barrage of injuries. I'd say the Reds and Mets have been banged up more than any other teams in the National League. Reds have used the DL 21 times already this season. And September really doesn't count because if a guy suffers an injury now, there's really no need to put him on the DL because of the expanded rosters.
Not only that, but if a guy's coming back off the DL at this time of year, it's very tough to get him some playing time. Usually you have to have a simulated game or something like that early in the day. Reed Johnson being a perfect example. If and when he gets ready to play again, there's nowhere to send him.
Runner going, and a good throw by Soto, but Stubbs was able to get in just ahead of the throw. Meanwhile, 2-0 on Janisch.
Yeah, the Reds think that Drew Stubbs is going to be a big-time power and speed combination. This is 4th stolen base since coming up to the major leagues. He has been caught 3 times, so his pitch selection when he runs could be a little bit better, but certainly has enough speed to steal a base.
And the cornermen will now come in as Janisch may think about a bunt. Nope, he's going to take ball 3. So Harden hasn't yet really found the strike zone. Janisch just 2 for his last 29, and this is a lineup you want to go after pretty much everybody except for maybe Joey Votto, who's on deck. Always performs well against the Cubs. Now the 3-1, that's a strike. Harden with 50 career wins against just 28 losses. He's 14-9 as a member of the Cubs. So he's walked back to back right in front of Joey Votto. That's not a recipe for success normally.
For a middle of the lineup guy that has average speed at best, Joey Votto's grounded into only 7 double plays all season long. That's basically because he's a fly ball hitter. Rich would love to see a ground ball right at one of his defenders here.
Coming in for his career at .299 with 999 career at bats. And he looks at ball 1. That's, guess who, the pitching coach. A little fidgety right now with his starting pitcher having walked the first 2 batters of the game. Good rip by Votto, and he fouled it off. Couple of Canadian-born major leaguers here, Harden and Votto. Joey Votto, Bob, has become the Reds' new version of Adam Dunn. Lots of damage here at Wrigley Field. Votto broke his bat.
Votto not quite the strikeout machine that Adam Dunn had been in the past. He does have 94 punch outs rather on the season, but way behind Adam Dunn's pace.
Adam Dunn hit his 36th home run yesterday for the Nationals. Two balls, two strikes, just underway. Stubbs and Giannis both walking. And now it's Joey Votto, and he got a big chunk of Ed Rapuano's right foot.
Oh boy, the dogs are barking. You know, if I'm not mistaken, the plate umpires wear like a steel-toed shoe, very similar to a construction worker or something like that, just to avoid those foul tips off the foot. But you could see the way Ed Rapuano came out from behind home plate right there. That one got him pretty good.
He can't stand still.
Ooh. Ow, 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 ow.
Well, you've always said that's the most painful thing that can happen to you as a baseball player.
Because it's going to last for a while. And, you know, gravity will tell you that the blood tends to pool at the bottom of your body. And for a home plate umpire who's going to be on his feet all day today, they don't have a chance to go back and sit in the dugout between innings. He'll be able to feel his heartbeat in his big toe. He probably does already. And it'll be even sore tomorrow morning and will continue to be so probably for the next couple of weeks. Those just don't go away very fast. Don't think Ed's going to be doing any dancing tonight.
How many unprintable words were muttered by Ed Rapuano over the last 2 minutes? Count holding it 2-2 on Votto. Here's the pitch. Votto's trying to get another piece of Rapuano, maybe another body part to take the pain away from the right foot. I guess that's one way to do it. Hit one off his left arm.
Don't notice your right toe quite as much. You take one off the left elbow.
Votto almost got hit. You could, boy, it looked to me like he was deciding, should I let it hit me or really try to get out of the way? And he was just able to elude it. 3-2.
Well, if you're going to get hit by a pitch, that's probably the one. That looked like a straight changeup that kept cutting in further on Joey Votto.
He stuck his elbow out. 3-2 pitch, another foul.
You know, Votto, as you mentioned, Len, has had great success against the Cubs in the past, and mostly because he gets a lot of very hittable pitches up and out over the plate. He's got good opposite field power. Very disciplined hitter. Looks like Rich Harden is trying to get in that kitchen, challenge him inside, first at bat of the game.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out for the first out of the game.
From our Southwest Sky Cam, you see Joey Votto chasing a letter-high fastball, very tardy that time. That's the cumulative effect of seeing so many changeups earlier in the sequence. Just a little bit tardy on that fastball.
So it took Harden over 20 pitches to record an out, and he has not yet thrown a first pitch strike. As Brandon Phillips digs in. 3 hits in the game yesterday at Colorado. Strike one on a change. Phillips 1 for 10 lifetime against Harden. The runners go. There's a throw to third. That's going to be late. So I think Harden's been kind of just concentrating on throwing strikes, and the Reds took advantage of that. They have now stolen 3 bases in the first inning.
Well, throwing strikes and holding runners on base are not mutually exclusive. You have to pay attention to everybody, especially the hitter, but you got good speed on the bases. You have to make sure you alter your rhythm to home plate so those guys can't time you up and steal the base as easily as the Reds just did.
have 87 steals on the year. Came in middle of the pack in the National League, 7th in steals. And the cornermen now come in. And it's 1 and 2 to Phillips. For Giannis, pulling up the rear, that's his first career stolen base. Stubbs has 2 in this inning. Tell his grandkids I just beat the throw, even though it went to another base. Head first slide.
Because of technology and the fact that just about every game is televised nowadays, you can't lie about stuff like that anymore. Your grandkids will go back and look at the videotape. Check the CD.
Oh, we won't have CDs then. Be way beyond that technologically. Well, they'll have it on their iPhone. Some things don't change a whole lot, and that's a good thing. Wrigley Field would be one of those. Big 1-2 pitch for Harden, and he strikes out Phillips.
Another tardy swing on a fastball on a 2-strike count. Gio wants it up. Soto throws it on that inside corner of the plate, and Phillips comes up empty. Those are 2 big outs. 2 of the main run producers in this Reds lineup going down on strikes.
Now it's Scott Rowland in his 18th game since being put on the disabled list because of a concussion. Actually came back after getting beamed by Jason Marquis and hit a home run against the Cubs on August 5th. Played 2 days later at San Francisco and then got shut down. He was acquired from the Toronto Blue Jays at the end of July.
This Red team 14 games under 500 on the season, but when Scott Rowland starts, they're 13-7. Granted, as you said, because of the beaning, he missed a considerable number of games when he first came over, but in his 20 starts, the Reds are 13-7.
This was a nasty one, a direct hit, and Marquis, a former Cardinal teammate of Scott Rowland, was very upset about it, and right after that gave up a home run. He held up on the change, 3-1. Johnny Gomes is on deck. So far, had 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 3 stolen bases. And the bases are loaded. So the Reds could potentially score a run without putting a ball in play the entire inning, and the Cubs could get out of the inning without the Reds putting a ball in play. So Larry out. It was a one-way conversation.
Now, one thing we know, Len, if you want a seat in the bullpen, you better make a reservation. Full house today. Even a few extra folding chairs down at the end to accommodate the expanded rosters here in September. Like a table for 2, please. Near the phone.
So 3 on for Johnny Gomes. Ooh. Power against power on that pitch. Gomes playing left today. 0-1, that's high. Well, for a while it was Dunn and Griffey and Kearns. Lately, Jay Bruce, but he's on the DL. Chris Dickerson's out. Willie Taveras really banged up. You can see what the Reds are going to do. They're just going to try to wait him out.
Well, he didn't miss by much here. Tries to nip that outside corner with a fastball. Just didn't come back enough.
This Reds team doesn't get on base a whole lot. Second to last in on base percentage in the entire National League. But they have been extremely patient here in this inning against Rich Harden. 13th in walks. Harden gets a sign from Soto and ready for a 2-2 pitch. Ooh, a soft flinch from Ed Rapiwano, but he could not pull the trigger. 3-2.
Well, even though he didn't get the call, that's a great location. That's a low fog fastball right at the bottom of the kneecaps.
Everybody will run on the 3-2. Here it comes, and he pops it foul off to the right. Rich has had trouble keeping the ball in the ballpark, so while he wants to throw a strike here, he doesn't want to throw a fat one to a guy who certainly could hit it out. He's given up 23 home runs. Another 3-2 and another foul.
Gomes gradually getting a little closer to that Rich Harden fastball. Earlier in the count, he was very late. Fouled off the last two, getting a little bit closer.
So Harden will be throwing with this next pitch, the 40th of the inning. Here it is. Up in the air, Bradley coming in. Baker goes out. And Jeff Baker ends the first inning. David Patton just got up in the bullpen as Harden got out of the first with no runs, believe it or not. Pepsi, refresh everything. Kosuke Fukudome up over 400 with his on-base percentage in that one spot. Bradley's in right. You have Lee Ramirez, Hoffpauir in left. Jeff Baker at second. The catcher is Giovanni Soto. Ryan Terrio's going to hit 8th today right in front of the pitcher.
Take a look at the Reds defensively. Gomes, Stubbs, and McDonald across the outfield. Perennial Gold Glove winner Scott Rowland down at third base. Paul Janisch at short. Brandon Phillips at second base. Nomar Arigato. It's Joey Votto over at first base. You like that one?
I like that one.
I stole that. I heard it earlier this morning. Craig Tatum behind the plate today for right-hander Justin Lear.
I don't care if you stole it. Funny's funny. Justin Lear, one of his 4 wins was a complete game 4-hit shutout against the Cubs in Cincinnati.
And you'll see a little bit of everything from Lear: a sinker, a cutter, a slider, a curve, a changeup. He likes to pitch to contact. Only 19 strikeouts on the season and just over 44 innings pitched. Actually 16 strikeouts, 19 walks in 44 2/3.
He's gone 3-1 to Fukudome. They got Lear from the Phillies earlier this season. 32 years old. Ball 4. Maybe there's something in the baseball. They're not weighted properly or something. I don't know what's going on today, but starting pitchers having all kinds of problems throwing strikes. That's the 4th walk already. Possible to have a lopsided baseball?
Could be.
Bradley back in the lineup. Had some tightness in his legs. And Pittsburgh. This is his first action since Tuesday. One and one the count on Bradley. Derek Lee on deck, and kind of like we were talking about Joey Votto in the first, the last thing Lear wants to do is face Derek Lee with too many guys on base. Derek with 31 homers and 96 RBIs. That's why you hit that guy third. Trying to get a couple on and give him a shot to knock him in. The pitch low and outside. Lou was asked before the game about Kosuke Fukudome and whether or not he would be fine with Kosuke as your leadoff guy going into next season, and Lou basically said, well, not specifically leadoff, but I definitely see him as a top of the order hitter. Strong on base percentage. The one thing he would like to see is Kosuke run a little bit more often and more successfully. He's just 6 out of 15 in the stolen base department.
A number of those caught stealings were the tail end of a hit and run when the batter swung through the ball or took it for a strike.
That'll go 3, 6, 3, and just like that, 2 outs.
From our Southwest Skycam, Joey Votto, after holding on Fukudome over there, that ball is hit right to him. Just a quick pivot to his right. The throw to Janisch at second base, and the relay had plenty of time to get Milton Bradley back at first base.
A strike to Derek Lee. 8 for 19 on the just completed trip, including 4 home runs.
Well, I'll tell you what, Len, no matter how you slice it and dice it, Derek Lee has had an outstanding offensive season this year. Great numbers overall. And if you look a little deeper at the numbers, it even becomes a better year. That's not going to help.
Lear throws him out. We'll get into some of those numbers next time around. 0-0 after 1. This Monday's Band Camp and Investments Day here at Wrigley Field. Don't miss the action as the Cubs host the Brewers at 7:05. Lucky seat winners will win great prizes throughout the game. Compliments of Band Camp and Investments. Darnell McDonald, late insertion into the lineup. And for Vladimir Valentin, who was scratched. McDonald playing right. And batting seventh. Harden with a 1-0 pitch. Found back our way. After each of the last two half innings, the home plate umpire Ed Rapuano has had a conversation, and a pretty long one, with Cubs head athletic trainer Mark O'Neill after taking a foul ball right off his foot. Looked like maybe caught his big toe. And, you know, it's a beautiful day. You get all set up. I'm sure he was excited to work the plate. And this is going to be a miserable afternoon for Ed Rapuano.
Oh, yeah, I mentioned it when it happened. He can probably feel his heartbeat in there right now. His toe is swelling inning by inning.
Bradley makes the catch. McDonald retired. Mark and Ed Halbert do a fantastic job. Cubs training and medical staff.
Yeah, the Cubs players a little recharged after an off day yesterday, but the trainers never really get an off day during the course of the season. There's always injuries to be dealt with.
Catcher Craig Tatum grounds out to Terrio, and you like to see that, a quick out.
Hey, Cub fans, don't forget to visit the WGN Sports Game Zone at WGNTV.com. Brought to you by The Great Escape for up-to-the-minute stats and information designed to give you everything you need to know during the game. The WGN Sports Game Zone is available for every Cubs game and is brought to you by The Great Escape. Pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and say it with me, more. You better get out there and enjoy those pools and play sets. How much longer we're going to have this great weather?
It's the pitcher Lear. This is the kind of day, if you're Dusty Baker, you might tell your pitcher, don't swing the way Rich Harden has thrown early on. It's 1-1.
Especially as quickly as the first two hitters in this inning went down. It's a different story if your pitcher is Carlos Zambrano or somebody that really swings the bat well, but for most pitchers, you're probably better served to go up there and see as many pitches as you can.
Opponents hit just .233 against Harden. Two and two. Lear just 2 for 18 in his career, and still has not taken the bat off his shoulders, and he still might not with 2 strikes. Took a pretty good cut at it, fouled it back into the upper deck. Everything else under the lights. Only game in town. Reds and Cubs. Three and two. See where Soto sets up. We've talked about this before, especially with the way Harden's been throwing. If he's just going to set up right down the middle. Now he's going to go a little bit toward the outside corner on a 3-2 to the pitcher. And he got him. Did paint that corner for his third strikeout. They go down 1-2-3. We're still scoreless early on. And Missy O'Brien enjoying the game out in the bleachers today. Kevin is just back from his second tour of duty overseas with the Illinois Army National Guard. Our best to you and all who serve with you. Also, happy 40th to Kip McDowell, huge Cub fan from Normal, Illinois. The big group here today. 1 ball, no strikes on Aramis Ramirez. Bottom 2. Fouled straight back. Well, before I forget this, Bob, I got to mention it. We were in Pittsburgh the other day. Steve Blass, former Major League pitcher and currently a Pirates broadcaster, did a little closest to the pin competition with Peter Jacobson and Paul Mahalam as they were honoring Arnold Palmer on his 80th birthday as Ramirez gets hit. It was a breaking ball in the mid-70s, but it still hurts. Leadoff man is on base.
I just tried to overthrow a slider right there. Ramirez tried to lean back out of the way. Looked like he took it on the back of the left hand, maybe around that left wrist area somewhere.
Brings up Michael Hoffpower to finish his story in a Pirates alumni golf tournament yesterday. Steve Blass hit 2 holes in 1.
Get out.
He had a pretty good stroke the other night. But 2 in 1 round?
What did you say the odds were
the odds,
against
according
that?
to Golf Digest, 1 in 67 million.
Wow.
So nice going, Steve Blass. He got a computer and a $500 gift card. Said, I don't use a computer. I spent $400 in the bar, according to the story in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Yeah, you hit a hole in 1, you buy it for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Three and 0 to Hoffpower, who has homered in back-to-back games. Big day Wednesday, 2 hits, including a homer and a double, and he draws ball 4. Well, the Cubs, without a hit in the game, have had 3 base runners.
Hey fans, follow your team on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB.com at Bat 2009, featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcast. Visit Cubs.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase.
Here's Jeff Baker, who hit 500 on the trip, 10 for 20. He's playing second. And Lear spins Ramirez with a pretty short lead at second. About 6 base runners combined. We're only in the bottom of the second and no hits. 5 walks and a hit batter. Ground ball. Phillips will get there. The throw to second is in time to get the out. Phillips, a Gold Glover last year, made a nice play, got it to Giannis in time to force Hoffpower. They're at the corners with 1 out.
A little bit of a dangerous play that time by Brandon Phillips. The easy play is to just take the out at first base, but he knows if he can get Micah Hoffpower at second base, it'll keep the double play in order with Giovanni Soto coming to the plate. So he takes a shot, and they just do get Hoffpower at second base.
Soto trying to drive in that first run. The Reds want to turn 2. Because of that, they want to keep Baker as close to first as possible. Strong trip for Gio. 4 hits, 3 doubles. Also walked 3 times. He fouled it off his front foot.
They're looking at the most recent scouting report on Lear. He has I don't want to say perfected, but his fake to third, wheel around, throw to first pickoff move is better than most, as you see Giovanni Soto fouling one off his front leg. Now he and Ed Rapuano can commiserate behind home plate the rest of the day. Mine hurts worse than yours.
Mark O'Neill back out. It's time to tend to Cubs catcher. And Rapuano's going, yeah, me too. Suck it up, Gio.
Well, catchers are used to that. Rarely does a day go by for a major league catcher that you don't get dinged somewhere. Merit badges. The more bruises you get, the more merit badges you have.
There's that fake to third, look at first move you talked about. Now the pitch just missed the outside corner. They play Soto pretty much straight up in the outfield and particularly deep in left. Johnny Gomes is out there in left. There's a fly ball out into right center. Should be plenty deep enough to get Ramirez home. Catch is made, and Aramis will score, and it's 1-0. Still no hits, but the Cubs manufacture one on a sac fly by Soto.
Gio got to pitch up and out over the plate. That's what you want to do as a hitter in that situation. You do not want to hit the ball on the ground for fear of a possible double play. Look for something up in the zone that you can lift in the air to the outfield, and Giovanni Soto drives home the first run of the game with a sac fly.
He doesn't have much time to worry about that front leg, left leg. He's got to get his catcher's gear back on. Terrio hits it foul. Ryan trying to finish strong, 5 for his last 13 after a tough stretch. He's missed only 4 games all season. How many times did you do that right there?
Lost count. Just as a point of rule for a catcher, you see the buckles are on the outside of the right leg, and the same thing for the shin guard on the left leg. The buckles go on the outside. There's a good reason for that.
Can you tell us in 5 seconds or less?
Well, when the buckles are on the inside, you have a tendency to buckle yourself as you're running down there to back up first base.
Bad idea. 1-0 Cubs. Kansas.com for more information. It'll benefit Make-A-Wish, the Kansas chapter. It's a wonderful foundation, and it's in Wichita, Kansas on December 5th, 2009. Also, if you're on Facebook, go to Coy Hills Big Wish.
And even if you're not able to make it to Wichita, Kansas in December, I'm sure you have friends and family in the area. Let them know about it. Great cause, great cause.
Coy available off the bench today. Drew Stubbs batting for the second time. He led off the game with a walk, stole 2 bases, and was stranded at third. I also want to mention Alfonso Soriano, along with our good friend Dave Kaplan from WGN Radio, are hosting the Children's Neuroblastoma Cancer Foundation's Grand Slam Gala tomorrow after the game over at John Barleycorn's. Go to grandslamgala.org for more information. You can call 773-549-6000 as they raise awareness and funds for neuroblastoma, an aggressive form of childhood cancer. The foundation, again, is the Children's Neuroblastoma Cancer Foundation. Great to see all the work the Cubs players and staff do in the community. Tied for ball 3. It's 3-2. Eye for ball 4, a leadoff walk. Speaking of community service, Ted Lilly, the Cubs Roberto Clemente Award winner, and we got a tweet, Bob.
Yeah.
And you can email us at LenonBob@ChicagoNow.com. Tweet us at Twitter.com/LenonBob. The Ted Lilly fan club writing in. Any chance we can convince Bob to shave his Magnum PI stash if Ted wins the Roberto Clemente Award?
No.
Once again, that's Twitter.com/LenonBob.
No, but Len will grow one if Ted wins the Roberto Clemente Award.
Sure, here's the thing. It'll be in the off season. So I'm happy to grow facial hair for a good cause. But you won't clean up, huh?
I don't think so. I got just the right combination of dark and gray going right now.
Runner goes, fouled back by Janish. Little hit and run action. Stubbs has been pretty busy on the bases early on. I think Stubbs, that's a good name today. Stubbing your toe. We've seen it a couple of times. Fly ball right center. Bradley now going back. And that's the first out. They'll bring up Joey Votto, who struck out. A couple of runners on in the first. Two for 4 yesterday on his 26th birthday. That was following a 3 for 35 stretch. Missed time earlier this year because of some anxiety and depression in the wake of his father's death last year. That'll be a wild one. That's a real wild one. Soto all the way over in front of the Cubs dugout.
Rich just doesn't appear to have any consistent release point on that changeup in the early going of this ball game. He's been able to spot his fastball pretty well, but he's missed up high with the changeup. That one he pulled very near the feet of Joey Votto. Just can't seem to find that good release point out front and get that pitch in the strike zone. Because we know when he throws that changeup close to the strike zone, he gets a lot of swings and misses. Like that.
Right on cue. Phillips on deck. Tying run at second with one out. Votto swinging and missing, 1-2. He's missed the last two changeups from Rich Harden.
When Rich struck him out back in the first inning, it was a lot of changeups early in the sequence, and then eventually got him with a fastball that Votto was extremely late on. See if he goes to that same pitch here, ahead in the count, 1-2. Yep, tried to change up away, just faded off the outside corner of the plate.
Great way to kick off your weekend here at Wrigley Field. High on a heater. The 3-2 pitch. That's going to drop down for a bloop hit, and it's going to tie the game. Joey Votto with a looping fly ball to left, and he knocks in Stubbs to make it 1-1. That is their first hit.
Now, Votto did get an RBI to tie the ball game up here, but this is one swing that he will not put on his highlight reel. Just a little emergency flip of the bat right there. Jammed a little bit, hit it in an absolutely perfect spot for the Reds. However, nobody could get to it, and Stubbs with his speed will score easily.
Phillips with Votto now at first. These two teams come in with winning streaks against their own division. Cubs have won 5 straight against the National League Central, while the Reds have taken 8 in a row, even though they just got swept. That was in Colorado over in the West. Nine of the Cubs wins this year against their own division come against the Pittsburgh Pirates. They've won 11 versus Houston. And they're 8-4 against Cincinnati. Harden at the belt. And he's 2-1 to Phillips, now 2-2.
There are a lot of pitches up across the top of the strike zone and even higher. Brandon Phillips is a guy that will ground into his share of double plays. 17 times this season he's grounded into a twin killing, but you got to get that pitch down around the knees to get that desired ground ball.
Outside, 3-2 on Phillips. David Patton up for the second time. Threw just a couple of pitches right at the end of the top of the first as Harden was making his 40th pitch. He's over 70 now. And he's walked 5. Cub fans, Len and Bob's baseball blog has joined Chicago Now. From now on, you can find the same great content from Len and Bob's blog at chicagonow.com/Len and Bob, as well as WGNTV.com. I have a post about an interesting number in terms of the Cubs in the standings. We also have the list of the homestand's 7th inning stretch singers. Some good ones coming up. Game notes from our friends at Stats Inc. and much more. Once again, WGNTV.com or ChicagoNow.com. Two on for Rolen. Ball 1. Harden had really good command his last time out, but he had 10 strikeouts. That's why he left after 5. He threw 102 pitches to start. Before that, 6 walks versus Houston, 9 strikeouts. He's basically averaged about 20 pitches per inning the last 3 starts. Even more than that today. Over 25 pitches per inning.
Well, the bad news is Rich Harden's pitch count is skyrocketing here early in the ballgame. The good news is the Cubs have 12 relief pitchers available today with the expanded September call-ups.
And just about all of them are out there. The late inning guys don't head out there right off the bat. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Middle of the plate fastball once again for Rich Harden. We talked about it already in this ballgame. Usually it's the changeup that gets the swings and misses from opposing batters, but today he's got good life on that fastball. May have to go to it a little bit more than he normally does, given his command problems with the changeup today.
As shaky as he's been, I cannot imagine a lot of Reds hitters are going back into the dugout saying he's got nothing today. I mean, the stuff is always good. It's just a matter of can he harness it. We've seen a lot of swings and misses. Rich Harden fan right down there near the dugout. High fly. Fukudome battling the sun as he drifts over into right center. Ooh, he turned his head right at the last second and made the catch. They tie it up on the Votto single. It's 1-1. For the Cubs win sticker under the bottle for your chance to win an overnight stay, as Harden out into shallow right center, and it's caught by McDonald for the first down. Yeah, your chance to win an overnight stay at the Abbey Resort in Avani Spa on Lake Geneva at Fontana, Wisconsin. Make sure to buy from your Pepsi vendor for your chance to win with Pepsi and the Abbey Resort.
to the top in Fukudome. Just missed. 2-0. He walked. His first time up and a nice hitter's count. His hitting coach from Japan, Kyosuke Sasaki, back here at Wrigley Field. Quite sure how long Mr. Sasaki will be here. Good to see him. He was in uniform during batting practice. A little tapper, a swinging bunt. Tatum out quickly and throws him out. Two outs. It brings up Milton Bradley. A 1-1 tie. The Cubs got their run in the second. The Reds answered back in the top of this third. Line to left. Gomes playing very deep. And that results in a 2-out single for Bradley.
Well, good. That'll get Derek Lee to the plate here in this inning. We started to talk about some of the numbers beyond the numbers for Derek Lee this season as you get another look at Bradley's slicing single into left field. First 3 innings of a ball game this year, Derek Lee's been a .273 hitter. Innings 4, 5, and 6, the average jumps up to .316. But then in the last 3 innings of a ball game, he's a .341 hitter. Saves his best for last. Hits .615 with the bases loaded. .304 with runners in scoring position. And with runners at third and less than 2 outs, .394. Well, he gets the damage done when you like the damage to be done.
Drives out into left center. We'll see if Bradley can score. Picked up by Gomes, and Bradley's going to be held by Mike Quade. The throw came back into Brandon Phillips, the second cutoff man. Bradley hunched over at third. Remember, he had the tightness in his legs. Maybe that's why Mike Quade decided to hold him, even though there are 2 outs.
I think that may have been one of the determining factors. Also, the fact that Brandon Phillips was the guy that took the relay throw from the outfield. Strong, accurate arm from Brandon Phillips. You see as that ball sailed over the head of Paul Janisch to Phillips. And boy, Bradley really laboring as he came into third base there.
I don't even know if he hit the bag the first time through.
He stepped right over it.
So the Cubs with their first 2 hits of the game, back to back with 2 down. A 1-0 count on Aramis Ramirez. The pitch by Lear, breaking ball, strike. And the Admiral is here and ready to sing the stretch with his glove on. Timothy Keating, maybe 4-star Admiral, certainly admirable too.
That too.
Tatum will go out. Chatted over with Lear. I mentioned the Reds pitchers have been really good on this trip, even though they've gone 3 and 4, a 2.87 staff ERA, and their starters at 2.38. Pitching coach is a former Cubs pitching and bench coach, Dick Pole.
We saw Aramis Ramirez take a slow curveball for a called strike a pitch ago. Boy, hopefully Lear will go back to that pitch at some point. We know that Aramis Ramirez is a real good strike breaking ball hitter. And the way he reacted to that curveball, he may be setting up the Reds starter.
And it's lined into left. Good call, partner. They're going to try to get two. The throw to the plate is offline. Ramirez takes advantage and slides in safely at second base. It's exactly what you were talking about. 3-1.
I'll tell you, Len, back in my playing days, Ryne Sandberg was one of the best in the National League at exactly this. Reacting to a curveball or a breaking ball early in the sequence and then looking for it the rest of the at-bat, and when you get it that second time, don't miss it. Rhino rarely missed it, and this time Ramirez doesn't miss it either. Drives home two more.
And you didn't miss it either. 3 straight hits. All coming with 2 outs. Off power went after a bad one. Tapper foul. 1-2. They've finally gotten to Justin Lear, who shut him out the last time they faced him.
Just watching Justin Lear for the second time around against the Cubs, it seems to me that the thing that makes him effective when he is effective is that little bit of late movement. It looks like a lot of the Cubs hitters feel like they're right on some of his pitches, but there's just a little bit of sink or a little bit of cut at the very end. Takes that ball off the sweet spot and down near the trademark or up near the end of the bat, and instead of hitting a line drive, you put the ball into play weakly.
Justin Lear is a Red who's from Orange, California. Attended University of California, Santa Barbara, and then transferred to USC for his senior year. And hit .297 as a first baseman. Pitched as well. Made his major league debut here at Wrigley Field with the Oakland A's back in 2004. Over near the bullpen, Scott Rowland, very familiar with that area here in the friendly confines. Ramirez with a 2-run single. Cubs lead 3-1. Cubs 3, Reds 1. Getting your weekend off to an early start. Cubs baseball. Darnell McDonald, ball 1. So Harden with his second lead of the game. Second lead courtesy of Aramis Ramirez. Over his head on a changeup. 2-1. Third major league team for McDonald. He's been an Oriole, a Twin, and now a Cincinnati Red. One career home run. Outside corner, just caught it.
Right on the edge of that strike zone, right around the knees. A little help from Giovanni Soto there, pushing it back toward the corner, getting the call from Ed Rapuano.
Hard to believe we're only in the 4th inning. Might not be easy for Harden to get through 5 today. That'll help. As Fukudome makes a catch in straightaway center.
The 2009 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN is brought to you by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
It's a clean sweep.
We'll take a dirty sweep.
Well, looking at the shadows, you can see a Rich Harden. I mean, the sun right now is directly behind home plate. And Bob, I would imagine this time of the year, it's a little bit more tricky than usual because it's lower in the horizon for a guy like Fukudome the next few minutes.
Now, Kosuke does a great job, however, of trying to get his body into a position where he can use that glove, or in the case of a fly ball earlier in the game, use his bare hand. Get his body off to an angle and try to keep those fly balls out of the sun as long as possible.
Well, trying to catch a major league pop fly, looking into that.
Ew.
Off power, plays it on the hop. So Tatum is on. Oh, the 6-game hitting streak.
With Micah Hoffpauir in left field for the Cubs today and Johnny Gomes in left field for the Reds, you have two of the more cautious defenders in left. Both play very, very deep. They don't like the ball hit over their head. They feel more comfortable coming in, but at the same time, they're not going to overcharge anything either. Very much under control and cautious.
We are already showing bunt. Taking it low and outside. Kicks foul.
Well, and we talk all the time in a sacrifice bunt situation, get the out. The other team's willing to give you an out, make sure you get an out. But this is one of those situations where you might get a little greedy as the defending team. You've got a slow runner in the catcher, Craig Tatum, at first base. You got the pitcher at the plate. This is where you might want to charge a little more aggressively than you normally would and think about getting a double play on this sacrifice attempt. Now, Ramirez probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 steps in closer than he would normally play at third base. And Derek Lee coming hard down that first base line as the pitch is delivered.
Depending on what Lear does, if he gets one down here with 2 strikes coming out of the box, you could see on a pop-up, the cornermen could just simply let it drop, try to turn 2. Well, Lear
Do it. Yeah.
trying to get out of the way. Safe at second. Everybody safe.
Well, that was set up perfectly for the double play. Lear was knocked backwards out of the batter's box getting that bunt down. Unfortunately, Derek's throw to second is right on the base and gets there at the same time as the sliding runner.
Sacrifice and a fielder's choice.
You see as this play develops, Derek's going to second base. Ryan Theriot right on the bag. Well, you'd really like to see the Riot stretch toward Derek Lee. Make that a shorter throw. Play it like a first baseman reaching out for the throw from your first baseman. Get that force play at second base. If they were able to get the force at second, it's an easy double play because Lear was really slow getting out of the batter's box that time. I'm not sure why the Riot stayed on the bag as long as he did.
The kick, the 0-1 to Stubbs. That's smothered by Soto. 1-1.
Now watch as Ryan Theriot gets ready to take this throw at second base. There you see Lear knocked to his knees in the batter's box. That gives you a legitimate chance at two if Ryan stretches toward the throw. He let that ball travel all the way to the bag, and the throw and the runner got there at the same time. Got to reach out there and get that throw.
As you can see, Lear, even though he did get off to a slow start, also got caught watching the play. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Two gone.
From our Southwest Skycam, another elevated fastball up there around the letters. Gets a swing and a miss from the young Drew Stubbs.
Paul Janisch, a walk and a steal his first time up. A fly out to right. The next time around, 2 on, 2 down. Cubs lead 3-1. On the action later on tonight, St. Louis will be hosting the Atlanta Braves. Jair Jurgens and Joel Pinheiro in that one. Rookie Jeff Stevens is up. Pinheiro looks for his 15th win tonight. Same for left-hander Jorge De La Rosa of the Rockies as they play at San Diego. He's 14-9. It's strike two, according to Paul Schreiber. Janisch went. Big series in San Francisco. Dodgers and Giants. Kuroda and Kane tonight. Harden gets out of it. He has struck out 6 through 4, and the Cubs lead 3-1. 3-1.
Hey, Lynn, big congratulations to our friend Melvin Gunn, one of the security guards here at Wrigley Field. His team, the Fearless Fightin' Fifth, won the 16-inch softball World Series recently played in Hammond, Indiana.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
And that is a big, big, big local sport, 16-inch softball. Any broken fingers?
He didn't mention any broken fingers. Ooh. I think he told me they finished 6th 2 years ago. They finished 3rd last year and won it all this year. So congratulations to the Fearless Fightin' Fifth.
One strike on Jeff Baker as we get going here in the bottom of the 4th. Rich Harden may be done after 4, which would mean he could not get the win as Jeff Stevens continues to loosen in the bullpen. Baker flies out to McDonald. Time now to check in on our high-def shot of the game, sponsored by Comcast. Very patriotic day as we remember those who lost their lives on September 11th. This is a national day of service and remembrance. Cubs baseball in high definition is sponsored by Comcast. Soto taps it foul. Pretty rare, other than an injury, to have a starting pitcher leading 3-1 not have an opportunity to qualify for the win. But the pitch count looks like it's going to knock Rich Harden out of the game. 103 pitches. Wow. We talk about the pitch count a lot, but I mean, every pitch you throw, I mean, that's a bullet that you can't use later in the game, and it has been a major issue for Rich Harden.
You know, and something we never figure into the total pitch count is the 8 warm-up pitches that every pitcher takes between innings. I mean, granted, maybe they're not 100% and you're not facing a hitter, but you know, they're probably 80% effort, the 8 warm-up pitches you take between innings. So in the 4 innings of the ball game today, add another 32 to that pitch count.
And you talked about 12 guys available in the bullpen before September 1st. I don't know if Lou would have had the luxury to just go, well, we'll bring somebody else in. He's going to take advantage of it today. Now, I'm assuming they'll make a switch because Stevens is still up. In fact, is ready in the bullpen. And if you weren't taking your starter out, he would not be loosening. Lear ready for a 3-2 to Soto. High and deep for Gio, and that's going to go. It's just a matter of how far. The back third of the bleachers to make it 4-1. And it's his 10th homer as he heats up here in September.
Sometimes the best way to motivate a guy and get everything he's got to offer is to pronounce his competition, the starting catcher. Our Southwest, how far did it fly? 391 feet for Giovanni Soto, who no doubt about it has been swinging the bat a lot better over the last week to 10 days.
Sac fly and a home run today. Bounced up the middle. Phillips backhands, jumps, and throws out Ryan Theriot. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Aaron Miles will hit for Harden. Soto gets set to work with rookie Jeff Stevens in the 5th.
Buckles on the outside.
Did you ever make that mistake more than once?
No, once was plenty. You know, you run down there to back up first, and if you have the buckles on the inside of your legs, they have a tendency to hook each other as you're running down to back up a play at first base. And all it takes is one time to go down on your face and realize that, geez, I've got these things on wrong. Buckles always go on the outside. You see that little tab you hook through the loop right there. Well, that little tab will hook the other leg if you have them on the inside.
Miles grounds to Phillips. And that's the inning. A 1-out homer by the catcher, Giovanni Soto, and the Cubs lead 4-1. Lottery. Something looks a little off for Carlos Zambrano. I don't want to start a rumor, but you think he spent the off day in Las Vegas with Zach Galifianakis? Bradley Cooper?
I don't think so. I think it's a sunflower seed over his tooth there, but having a little fun with it.
Mega Millions can find you every Tuesday and Friday. Mega Millions, have fun responsibly. Referring to Ed Helms' character in the movie The Hangover, which was pretty funny. Woke up one day and his tooth was missing. Don't want to give away the plot, tell you how he lost his tooth, and we'd be thrown off the air if I did. Swing and a foul tip by Votto. 1-1 the count. Jeff Stevens came over from Cleveland in the Mark DeRosa deal. Stevens, a 6th-round pick of the Cincinnati Reds in 2005. Out of Loyola Marymount. And was involved in a deal between the Reds and Indians involving Brandon Phillips. Out into right. Votto with 2 hits, but neither has been hit particularly hard.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be the normal, well-balanced power swing that we're used to seeing from Joey Votto. A little inside out flip to left field back in the third inning to drive in a run, and this one once again kind of a defensive swing, just getting the bat on the ball, but found grass out in right field.
The pitch to Phillips, swing and a miss, and a curveball from Stevens. I've got page 187 open of the Cubs media guide, which is page 2 of the Jeff Stevens biography. And I noticed there's an interesting blue box in the middle of the page. It's not really related to Jeff Stevens. It's just an interesting Cubs historical fact. Left center, this will get down. Bad luck for Stevens. He's making pitches, but he's now facing a first and third situation with nobody out and the tying run coming up to the plate. The youngest player to ever wear a Cubs uniform, a guy named Milt Scott, who was 16 years, 8 months old when he made his major league debut in 1882. How old was Joe Nuxoff? 15?
15. Had to take a bus to the ballpark.
The last teenager, if you're wondering, to appear in a game for the Chicago Cubs, Oscar Gamble, was 19 years old when he appeared in 24 games for the Cubs in that '69 season.
Also goes on to say the last Cubs teenage pitcher was a 19-year-old Rick James, the super freak.
Appeared in 3 games in 1967. Oh, 0-2 on Scott Rowland. Pitch. That's low. 1-2. Again, Harden can't get the win, so if the Cubs maintain their lead the rest of the way, they'll go to basically the most effective relief pitcher. Starter can get a win by going only 4 innings, but it has to be a 5-inning rainout, essentially. Down the line, but slicing foul. Everybody might work an inning earlier than normal, and that's why Aaron Heilman is up, and it's only the 5th. Another 1-2 to Rowland, another foul right to the top of the barrier. Votto started the inning with a single and then moved to third on the Phillips hit out into left center.
You can see Gio wanted to go up the ladder there with a letter high fastball. We've seen a number of these Reds hitters chasing high fastballs in the early going of this game, but Stevens threw it off the plate away.
Runner goes from first, and Rolen skies it into center. Phillips able to locate it and head back to first as Fukudome makes a catch. Votto is going to hold up. Well, what a throw. Mark Barry down at third didn't want to take a chance with nobody out. So Stevens staves him off at least for one batter.
I think if you were going to rate Kosuke's arm, you'd call it average at best, but he charges the ball so well, stays behind it, and gets rid of it so quickly that runner at third base, he doesn't know how strong a throw that is. All he knows is it's in the air on line to home plate. Votto had to hit the brakes and stay at third base. Good aggressive defensive play by Kosuke. Get behind the ball, get some momentum, and get rid of it quickly.
Played mainly right last year. This year he's played center. Johnny Gomes, ball one. Well, a lot of pitchers from the stretch, they have a lot of movement as they get set, but not so for Jeff Stevens. He barely moves his feet. Just essentially brings his hands together as he gets ready to deal. Yeah, he doesn't move his feet at all.
Yeah, not a lot of moving parts, and that makes it tough for that runner at first base to really determine when Stevens has come to a full stop. Yeah, some pitchers, they take the glove and the bare hand way up over their head and bring their arms back down in front of their chest or set at the belt. That's very easy for a runner at first to read, but you can see with Stevens, he just puts the ball in the glove, sets it at his chest, and that base runner at first is never quite sure when he's come to a complete stop. Makes it tough to get a jump.
Phillips has the base stealer's lead, not running as it's golfed foul by Gomes.
There's no question that Phillips is capable of stealing a base. 24 on the season. He has been caught 9 times. I just don't think he's real comfortable against Jeff Stevens at this point. Otherwise, he would probably try to steal this base and take the double play out of the question.
Chatting with Billy Hatcher, the first base coach. Fly ball into deep left. Hoffpauir near the well. It's way over it, about 10 rows up to tie the game. Johnny Gomes on a 1-2 makes it 4-4. That's his 19th home run of the year. You use the phrase a bloop and a blast. In the case of the Reds here in the 5th, it's 2 bloops and a blast.
That was a blast off the bat of Johnny Gomes. A hanging breaking ball, very short, abbreviated swing. Gomes knows it's gone. You could tell by the way he posed coming out of the batter's box. We got a new ball game.
Gomes has 2 career hits at Wrigley Field. They have both been home runs.
If we could have just postponed that Johnny Gomes at bat by a couple of innings, he might have had a much better chance of getting him out. Since August 11th, he's hitting .434 with 7 home runs in the first 6 innings of a ball game. However, from the 7th inning on, .077 with no homers, no runs driven in.
Pop up by McDonald. This is Derek Lee. 2 gone.
The Bud Light Concert Series is still around. The Gaslight Anthem will be playing the House of Blues October 27th, brought to you by Bud Light. Tickets are available exclusively at Ticketmaster.com. That's the Gaslight Anthem, October 27th, brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light, the difference is drinkability.
Swing and a miss by Tatum, who is 1 for 2. It's the first home run Stevens has allowed in his major league career. Ooh, that's dangerous. The on-deck hitter is Justin Lear, and he barely got out of the way. That ball really skipped up the stands right near the Reds dugout. To say Tatum was late on the swing would be a huge understatement. Ground ball up the middle. Terrio will get there. Throw out Tatum. Gomes with a 3-run homer ties it up. Middle of the 5th, 4-4. $5 footlongs from Subway. Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules. As Bob said, a new ball game, 4-4. Lear's still in, Harden out, and Johnny Gomes against right-hander Jeff Stevens tied it up with a 3-run bomb into the left field bleachers. 1-1 on Kosuke. One of the Cubs minor league affiliates still in postseason action. It's the Tennessee Smokies, who trail in their best-of-5 playoff series to Huntsville 1-0. The Peoria Chiefs unfortunately got swept by Cedar Rapids. Best 2 out of 3. A couple of heartbreakers. Very close games, both of them. Fukudome draws the walk. Let's check in on the Cubs minor league report.
I was there at Cedar Rapids last night. Very, very tough way to end a ball game. Chris Hughesby, the closer for the Chiefs, who had been nails all season long, had walked only 10 batters all year. Walked 4, uncorked a couple of wild pitches, and a walk-off hit by pitch to drop the game 9-8 last night in Cedar Rapids. But congratulations to the Chiefs, their manager Marty Peavy, pitching coach Rich Bombard, hitting coach Barbaro Garbe, Pete and Rocky Vanaken, Ralph Converse, the general manager down there in Peoria. They had a great year. They went 81-57, 4 All-Stars, manager of the year. Great season for the Chiefs.
The 0-1 pitch, Bradley fouls it off the catcher, Tatum.
Also a big thank you to Jack Rader, the general manager of the Cedar Rapids Colonels, was a great host last night. A lot of tremendous hospitality from Jack and his staff down in Cedar Rapids. And just a little interesting sidelight here, Len. Back in 1977, I played in Cedar Rapids when the Giants had an A-ball team there, and the team mom and dad, Bob and Verna Nance, were in charge of the booster club at that time to help get the players settled in Cedar Rapids, and they came to the ballpark last night. Still season ticket holders. It was great to see them at the game last night.
Very nice. Jared Burton up in the Cincinnati pen, and your son Michael, we've kept tabs on him all year. He has instructional league coming up. How much of a rest does he get as Bradley strikes out?
Just a few days. I believe it starts around the 15th of September. So, just enough time to go home and do some laundry and settle in a little bit before they get right back at it again.
A strikeout, the first one of the day for Leary. Swing and a miss by Derek. A double and a run. He's 1 for 2.
Also want to say hi to Austin Kakert from Davenport, Iowa. How about this, Len? Austin comes to about a dozen or so Cubs games a year. He picked up on our Give It to a Kid promotion, where we want the foul balls to go to the youngsters in the stands. And every one of the games that he comes to here at Wrigley, he brings his Give It to a Kid sign. He was working at a fast food restaurant in Davenport, went through the drive-through window, and he came running outside the restaurant. Introduced himself. I said, I remember you. We've seen your sign in the stands a few times. So Austin Kakert from Davenport, Iowa, good to see you.
Tatum kept it in front of him, and then he kept Fukudome at first. Happy birthday wishes to Ed Majorker, watching in Montgomery, Illinois. The Cubs jersey balloon. Two-1 to Lee. High in the air. Did he get enough of it? Back on the warning track. It's going to be caught by Stubbs. His hands right up against the ivy.
Wind blowing straight in today here at Wrigley hasn't affected some of the balls that have been struck to the outfield, but it might have held this one up just a little bit. Derek hit it so high in the air to left center that Stubbs was able to camp right there in front of the basket and make the catch.
It's up to Ramirez with Fukudome still at first. Happy 85th birthday wishes. The big Cubs fan Marge Robeson in Apex, North Carolina.
Got a nice letter from Andy Capilano from Ingleside, Illinois. Thank you very much, Andy. We appreciate it.
Kicks away, and Fukudome will move up a base on a wild one. So now a Ramirez single could give the Cubs their third lead of the day.
Tatum is widely recognized as a strong defensive catcher. Kind of a half-hearted effort that time to backhand a pitch in the dirt. Climbed right up his left arm and gets over into the Cubs on-deck circle, allowing Fukudome to move into scoring position.
That's a strike. Very slow breaker. 2-2. Yank foul. Kicks off the brick wall. First appearance for Lear in 10 days. His last start was a win on September 1st. He's gotten a lot of run support here lately. 2 straight wins, but 9 runs over those 2 starts. 17 runs in support. He's gotten 4 this afternoon. The AAA International League's most valuable pitcher, combining at Lehigh Valley and the Phillies chain and at Louisville for the Reds to win 13 games.
Watch the Cubs take on the Brewers this Tuesday at 7:05. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Cubs deck of cards. Compliments of only Vegas. No dealing off the bottom of the deck either.
A leadoff walk, later a wild pitch, and Kosuke Fukudome is in scoring position with 2 outs. A 2-2 to Ramirez in the left base hit. Cubs will lead again. Fukudome is going to score easily, and Ramirez has his 3rd RBI of the day. It's now 5-4.
Some kind of an off-speed pitch on the inside part of the plate. Ramirez all over it. How big is that wild pitch now to move Kosuke Fukudome from first to second with 2 outs in the inning, where he scores easily on the Ramirez single into left field.
Dusty Baker is going to make a change, and it looks like a double switch. He went first to the home plate umpire Ed Rapiwano. Jared Burton will come in to pitch. We're going to get a new catcher as well. Cubs lead 5-4 in the 5th. .307, fifth best home mark in the National League. They have struggled on the road, even though their last trip they went 4-2. That's today's Toyota moving forward, thanks to Toyota. Second to last homestand starting here today is Ryan Hanigan will catch and bat ninth, and right-hander Jared Burton will pitch and hit eighth. Strike one to Hoffpauir.
Kind of an unusual move to bring Burton into the ball game to face a left-handed hitter. Dusty Baker has 3 lefties available out of his bullpen, but Burton has been really effective against left-handed hitters this year.
Runner was going Ramirez, and he'll get a stolen base out of it as the pitch got past Hanigan. And for Ramos, it's his first steal of the season.
You see they're playing behind him over there at first base, got a walking lead and just kept going, and then to compound it, Burton throws the ball past the new catcher Ryan Hanigan all the way to the backstop. Yeah, Burton has held lefties to a .247 batting average this year, only 1 home run in 90 at bats. Righties hitting .321 against the right-handed pitcher.
Burton has spent some time on the disabled list with right shoulder fatigue back in late July and early August. Hoffpauir lifts it in the air to right. McDonald just onto the warning track. Puts it away, and that ends the inning. Ramirez giving the Cubs the lead yet again, 5-4. Reds have won their last 8 against their own division. The Cubs have won their last 5. Rich Harden with a ton of pitches only got him through 4 innings. Reds tied it with a 3-run homer from Johnny Gomes in the 5th, but Aramis Ramirez has had a big day and has given the Cubs a lead twice. Visit your Honda dealer and test drive a 2009 Honda Accord. Sam Fuld comes in to play left. Hoffpauir's out. And Aaron Heilman will do the pitching here in the 6th. Against Ryan Hanigan, who gets his first at bat. A wind in the 0-1, fouled straight back as Hanigan seemed to lose his footing a little bit in that big swing.
I want to say hello today, too, to a regular correspondent, if you will, to the booth. Mary Moak from Morton, Illinois. Big-time Cubs fan. Always has some words of encouragement for the boys every time she writes us a letter. We appreciate it, Mary. Have a great day.
Hannigan came off the DL on Wednesday after suffering a concussion. Was on a foul ball off his mask. Laces that into the right field corner, but it's going to land just foul.
Until that concussion, Hannigan was a guy that had put himself into a position for some Rookie of the Year consideration. His offensive numbers have tailed off considerably since that point earlier this season, but still a good-looking young catcher. Solid defensively behind the plate, good contact hitter at the plate.
I'm sure you have a lot of trash talking going on in the Cubs clubhouse with Aaron Heilman and Jeff Samardzija against Jake Fox and Bobby Scales. Notre Dame and Michigan coming up this weekend. And guess who's talking the most trash from one source that I talked to? Jake Fox.
Well, yeah, goes without saying. Whether you're talking trash or art or politics, sports, my money's on Jake.
Hannigan bounces. Ramirez comes in and it gets Hannigan, who runs pretty well for a catcher. No slight intended. I always have to say that.
Well, he does run well, especially that little topper Ramirez was playing way back. Scoop throw all in one motion. Nice play.
Andres Blanco's going to have to pick a side, Notre Dame or Michigan. Where are you going? Oh, he's surrounded by the Wolverines as they make their case. Ball one on Drew Stubbs. He went to Texas, first round pick back in 06.
An All-American his senior year, a finalist for the Golden Spikes Award given to the most valuable player in the NCAA baseball every year. Two-time academic All-American.
Golf the other way. Bradley battling the sun. 2 outs. Haven't been too many quiet 1-2-3 innings for either team. Harden had a 1-2-3 second. And the Cubs have not gone down yet in order offensively. Heilman trying to do that here to the Reds as Giannis takes ball one. Good arm motion there on that changeup. As Heilman threw it like he would throw his fastball. And Giannis way out in front. For people who don't know, Bob, what the theory is behind a changeup, it's not just the speed, right? It's how you sell it. You're trying to tell the hitter you're throwing a fastball, and then you don't.
Yeah, you want him with his eyes to believe that a fastball is coming. Everything about your delivery, including the arm speed, should be exactly the same as your fastball. The grip on the ball will take off enough velocity to make it an effective pitch, but there are some pitchers, especially younger pitchers, who will slow down their delivery when they throw the changeup. They'll really slow their arm speed, and that's a tip-off to the hitter. I'll tell you, that changeup is one of the most frustrating pitches for a hitter. If a guy's got a real good straight changeup, and there's been a number of guys throughout the history of the game that have thrown a good straight changeup, it's so frustrating. Everything that you see with your eyes tells you fastball. And then you swing at it and screw yourself into the ground 3 or 4 times before the ball gets to the plate.
It's like another changeup's coming. And in talking about the grip, the basics of a pitch is that the closer to the end of your fingers the ball is, the better the velocity. And if you choke it back toward your palm, that's where you take off that velocity. You're trying to get good leverage on a fastball. That's why you put it out near the end of your fingers. You got good wrist action. High, ball 3, 3-2.
You know, some guys literally that's how they throw their changeup. They just choke it way back in the palm of their hand. Other guys will throw what they call the circle change, which is like making the OK sign with your thumb and your index finger, and you throw the baseball with your middle and ring finger.
A pop up into left. Fold is in. Terrio out, and it'll be Sam for out number 3. Nice 1-2-3 work from Aaron Heilman. Cubs lead by a run. Away. It's JB against JB. Jared Burton, Jeff Baker. Bottom 6, 5-4 Cubs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coming into today's action, Baker is hitting .336 as a Cub in 48 games. Getting a little help out there.
Giovanni Soto?
Oh, we have the bigger camera though. Nah. Janis Tovado. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Bob Brenly, Len Casper, our WGN Sports crew on a beautiful Friday afternoon at Wrigley Field. A couple of teams who will likely be heading home after October 4th. Cubs just can't make up any ground. They swept the Pirates, and they're no closer to a wild card lead or to first place in their division than they were when that series started. The Reds will be officially eliminated from division contention with any combination of Reds losses or Cardinals wins totaling 2. So technically they still have a chance. Rather slim. Sliding stop by Janis, guns it across. And the next Reds win will be the 1,300th career win for Dusty Baker as a manager. Lou Piniella with 1,772. Both these managers have managed both clubs. A lot of those wins piled up with the San Francisco Giants for Dusty. How many toothpicks do you think Dusty Baker has gone through in his major league career?
Woo. I don't know. A bunch.
Still wears those wristbands.
I'm sure it's been enough toothpicks to make at least a few dozen bats.
I would think so. Don't know if his son Darren made the trip or not. Be very interesting to see, Bob, how far his baseball career takes him. He has been playing since I think he could walk. Picked up by Hannigan. He throws out Terrio, and the Cubs go down in order for the first time today. Cubs 5, Reds 4 after 6.
yesterday's Bud Light Fan Cam with just the right taste that never fills you up. The difference is drinkability.
Aaron Heilman in his second inning of work with all kinds of action in the Cubs pen. Joey Votto 1-1. Tom Gorzolani on the right. He's the lefty. And Smilin Caridad is the righty on the left. The pitch. Sprayed foul into the upper deck. 1-2 on Votto. Again, Admiral Timothy Keating, current commander of the U.S. Pacific Command, will be the guest conductor for the 7th inning stretch. Foul tip, strike 3.
Funny looking awkward swings from Joey Votto in this ball game today, even though he does have a couple of base hits, drove in a run, scored a run. It's not the typical aggressive swing that we're used to seeing from Joey Votto.
You normally see some pretty healthy swings from Brandon Phillips. Phillips hitting just .196 against the Cubs this season. He is 1 out of 2 with a run today, also walked. Big bat waggle. A lot of movement in his hands as he gets set to hit. And still has that waggle, even though he's been bothered by a bone bruise in his left wrist. And he kind of had an oops moment recently. He casually mentioned that the wrist was fractured. The next day said, "I take it back." I guess he misspoke. Felt like it was broken. But they had pretty strong wrists to have that bat waggle every time up there.
Like a lot of other hitters at the major league level that do some unusual things in their setup as that pitcher's getting ready to deliver the ball. When Aaron Heilman lets that ball go, Brandon Phillips is in a pretty good hitting position. It doesn't really matter what you do as that pitcher's taking his sign or starting his windup, as long as you have that bat in a good hitting position when that ball's released.
He steps out as Heilman took his time getting the signs. Scott Rowland on deck. If anybody reaches, it would be Johnny Gomes, who tied it up back in the 5th with a 3-run homer. Called strike 3. Phillips knew it. 2 down.
Rosen on the changeup. Ball starts just off the outside corner, tailed back over the outer third of the plate. Well, you can see Phillips started to bleed those hands into the strike zone ever so slightly, and then realized it was not a fastball that he expected. Took the changeup for a called strike 3.
Outside to Scott Rowland. '29 again. Good breaking ball to Rowland. The 1-1. It's just punched down the line, and it's barely foul.
First base umpire Paul Schreiber got a little bit of help from Derek Lee that time. Derek was standing right there close to Paul Schreiber as that ball came down, and Pointed that right arm out into foul territory, just helping out a little bit. Very close.
Each team with 5 hits. Cubs lead where it counts, 5-4 on the run board. 3 RBIs by Ramirez, 2 by Soto. So trying to get to 5 games over 500 for the first time since August 16th. In almost a month. Swing and a miss. Time for the stretch as Heilmann fans the side.
After the ball game is Navy 4-star Admiral Timothy Keating.
Okay, Cubs fans, for our men and women in uniform, let me hear you. A 1 and a 2 and a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever come back, or it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it at the old ball game.
Our AM PM player of the game, too much good stuff. And it is an honor to have the Admiral with us in the booth as Daniel Ray Herrera deals strike 1 to Sam Full. Admiral Keating, this is the National Day of Service and Remembrance, September 11th. And you were at the Pentagon, correct? Inside the Pentagon?
I was that day, Len. I was in the Operations Center, which where the American Airlines flight ended up, and I lost 24 men and women with whom I worked as a Navy Operations Director at that day.
That's inside right on the corner. And when it happened, what was the first thing you did? And what did you know what was going on the minute you heard the crash? As Sam Fuld hits it high, but this is going to be caught by McDonald for the out.
Yeah, Len, when we felt I was very close to where the airplane hit, and the building shook dramatically, and there was a kind of a low rumble. And we tried to get back down to the Operations Center where we were just before the airplane hit, and the smoke and the fumes and the fire were all really significant, so we couldn't get back in. So we went to our alternate command site and continued operations.
There's so many heroes from that day, some who unfortunately perished as well, but they'll always be with us.
Yes, sir.
As we look back 8 years ago, a lot has happened since around the world as well.
Yeah, it has. My wife and I got to live in Bahrain, and we helped with Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom, and we live in Hawaii now with the United States Pacific Command, and that's 325,000 soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardmen. And it's a great privilege to be here representing them all today.
2 outs in the inning. It's Milton Bradley at the plate. Strike one. You did a great job with the 7th inning stretch.
I was telling the guys on the radio, I've got 1,200 arrested landings on carriers, and those can be a little bit invigorating, but this was real pressure.
Right center, it'll be McDonald. Can you hang for a couple more minutes with us? We'd appreciate it if you could stick around for a couple minutes.
It'd be my privilege.
We're with Admiral Timothy Keating. 5-4 Cubs. Command directs all U.S. military operations in the Asia-Pacific region, which encompasses roughly half the Earth's surface. Right-hander Esmail Caridad is on. That makes you think Bob Angel Guzman's not available today. Cubs with a 1-run lead, and we're in the 8th inning as he'll face Johnny Gomes. John Grayboe getting ready in the bullpen. A lot of responsibility, sir. Stretching from the west coast of the United States to the western border of India and from the north to the South Pole. Wow.
Yeah, but it's a great job, as we said earlier, Len, and it's, as I tell everybody that is interested, it's the best job in the world, and I get to work with a whole lot of real good young men and women, so I'm considered a privilege to go to the headquarters every day. Probably like some folks think about going to the ballpark.
Yeah, we're also very lucky. That is low. 3 balls, no strikes. Carlos Marmol, the closer, ready for a possible 9th inning duties. But you have a really, really important job. We just get to sit here and watch baseball, which is fun.
Yeah, it is. This is a pretty good view from up here.
Now, it also says in your bio here that you will be retiring soon. Is that accurate, or is that an unsubstantiated report?
I'm on the waiver wire here, and I'm looking for work, and I got a lot of eligibility left. If you saw that first pitch, you probably know that throwing the ball is not where I'm headed. But yeah, well, we'll be done the middle of October with time and service.
Fukudome is going to have some room. Gomes just missed one. But a lot of hang time on it. Kosuke and Bradley in particular have really battled the sun this afternoon. 1 out here in the 8th. Well, I know you're a big baseball fan. You and Bob have been talking a lot of ball between innings.
Love the game. As was discussed earlier with the manager. The Cubs are my second favorite team. Growing up in Dayton, Ohio in the 50s and 60s, we paid a little bit of attention to that club from right down the road in Cincinnati, who happens to be the visiting team today, and they're behind. But yeah, we grew up loving the Cincinnati Reds, and I go back to Ted Kluszewski and through the Big Red Machine, Johnny Temple, Roy McMillan, all of them, and love the game.
One strike on Darnell McDonald, playing right. Make it 0-2. Bullpen's been really good today, other than Jeff Stevens, who gave up the 3-run homer. Aaron Heilman with 2 shutout innings, and now Caridad here in the 8th.
I have to ask you, Admiral, is baseball still used as a recreational activity for some of the downtime? I know Ted Williams, when he was in the Air Force, played some ball in the military.
Yeah, it's a big deal for all of our men and women in uniform, Bob. And also, even with today's technology, ships can be in the middle of the Indian Ocean, and we'll get live satellite feed of World Series games, All-Star game, and an occasional regular season game. So it's an essential element for rest and recreation for our kids, and the old guys too, for that matter.
Yeah, we oftentimes broadcasting Cubs baseball on the Armed Forces Network.
Yeah,
around the world. I got in on his hands a little bit, and he pops one into center, caught by Fukudome. 2 outs. And we are going to see a pinch hitter like Kevin Barker, and he'll bat in the pitcher spot for Herrera. Well, it's so great you are here today, and it's a beautiful day to be out here at the ballpark. Huge crowd and very tight ball game.
Friday afternoon at Wrigley Field. What a thrill.
Ball 1 to Barker. 39,881 inside Wrigley Field. Off the plate inside. 2 balls, no strikes. The Admiral has over 5,000 flight hours.
Yeah, nobody's had more fun than I have in the 42 years that I've been able to wear the cloth of our nation. So there have been a couple of days like 11 September 2001 that were tougher than others, but it's been a great thrill.
A swing and a miss, 2-2 the count. As we near the hopefully the end of the top of the 8th, is there anyone in particular as you get set to retire that kind of helped you along early on in your career you'd like to thank?
They're not with us anymore, but Mom and Dad. I was the first of 5 kids, and growing up in Dayton, Ohio, great Midwestern city, I had absolutely the best upbringing that a young man or woman could have. And to be sitting here with you guys today is a direct reflection of the upbringing I had.
Swing and the miss, Admiral Timothy Keaton. Thanks so much for the time. Thanks for everything you've done for this country.
Len, thanks. It's a great privilege. Thank you. Thanks, Bob.
Hit the bottom of the 8th. Right-hander Nick Massett, former member of the White Sox, will pitch here for the Cincinnati Reds. Strode in the bullpen. Carlos Marmol will likely get the ball in the 9th. How about Caridad in an 8th inning setup role today with a 1-run lead? He went 1-2-3. The Cubs have been trying to watch the innings of Angel Guzman. Didn't get anything specifically from Lou before the game about him being unavailable, but obviously he's not today. One and 2 to lead. Tapper foul. Bob, we have to mention some of the awards won by Admiral Timothy Keating. The Defense Distinguished Service Medal with 2 oak leaf clusters. The Distinguished Service Medal with Gold Star. Legion of Merit with 3 Gold Stars. And many, many more. Picked up by Massett, and he gets the out. And he handed us this wonderful coin. It says the Commander of the United States Pacific Command on the front, presented by Admiral Timothy J. Keating on the back.
Well, my father was in the Navy back in the day. He would have been thrilled. I'll tell you, Len, we have a lot of guests up here in the 7th inning booth, and we welcome all of them. But I don't think they get much bigger than Admiral Keating.
I would agree with that. It was a thrill. Big day for Ramirez.
Shadows just starting to creep out in front of home plate. Shouldn't really be that much of a factor unless we have some real long half innings here. But that ball will be leaving the pitcher's hand in the sunlight and stay brightly lit until it gets right in front of home plate. Certainly didn't bother Aramis Ramirez at all.
Well, it looked like that was a pull swing and the ball went the other way, but it worked out. He's 3 for 3.
See, if that happens to you as a hitter, you tell your teammates that's a head fake. You want to get the defense moving to left field and then hit the ball to right field. Just cued it right off the very end of the bat. A blooper into shallow right field. 3rd hit of the day for Aramis Ramirez to go along with a hit by pitch. 3 RBIs, a run scored. Busy day for Aram.
After a fairly quiet trip, he went 3 for 22 on the trip, even though a long home run in New York. Those hits count on the trip. 2-run single, 2-run homer, and a double. Bobby Scales will bat for Caridad. With a man on and 1 out. Here's a pitch by Massett inside. That is a strike. Career high 62 games for Massett, including today, and has given up just 2 earned runs over his last 17 appearances. Driven toward right center, and McDonald won't catch up to it till it gets all the way to the wall. Ramirez is going to be sent home by Quaddy Throws coming into the plate. It's not in time. That's an RBI pinch hit double for Bobby Scales.
Bobby Scales turning on a massive offering. A late jump out in center field by Drew Stubbs. I'm not sure if he didn't see that ball off the bat. By the time the Reds are able to get it back into the cutoff man, the throw home is going to be late as Ramirez scores. And Bobby Scales swinging a hot bat.
Coming off the bench today for the first time in a while. He had made 5 straight starts and left. A 1-1 to Baker. Now 1-2. And maybe the most heartwarming letter of the year. 8-year-old Charlie Moog from here in Chicago sent us a great note. Says, I'm 8 years old. My name is Charlie. I score every Cubs game I go to. If I don't go, I'll listen to it. The other day I heard you talking about the 4-colored pins. Baker swings and misses. Strike 3. So I bought each of you one. 8-year-old Charlie Moog.
All right, Charlie.
Sent us a 4-color pin. Unnecessary, Charlie, but the parents are raising you well.
I wonder if Charlie uses the 4-color pen when he scores the games.
He may. I'm guessing Charlie's not the kid from the YouTube video who bit his brother. Charlie bit me.
Really?
A lot of people have seen.
Yeah.
And I think, Bob, in honor of Charlie, we should use these pens here down the stretch. You using yours today?
They're right here. Yeah. Hopefully I'll get a lot of blue out of the Cubs hitters and a lot of red out of the Cubs pitchers. Red for strikeouts, blue for RBI.
Ground ball, backhanded by Votto. Goes 3-1 to get the out. There you go, that 4-colored pen. 6-4 Cubs to the 9th. Carlos Marmol tries to grab his 12th save, and he's trying to save it for Jeff Stevens, who would get his first major league win. Now, Jeff gave up the game-tying 3-run homer in the 5th, but the Cubs got the lead again in the bottom of that inning. And since then, the Reds don't have a hit. Clay Hill is now catching. And here we go. The pitch to Hannigan misses, ball 1. Bobby Scales with a pinch hit RBI double to add a little insurance, so the lead is now 2. One and 2. A big congratulations to a good friend. Works in security in the Cubs parking lot, Ralph Bryant. His daughter Camille was born the other day. Daughter and mom are doing great. So congrats to the Bryants. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 1 away, as the Cubs look for their 4th straight win.
Impressive slider that time from Carlos Marmol. Starts it right down the middle of the plate. That pitch ended up nearly in the dirt. Hannigan's a guy that does not strike out very often. Over 227 at bats on the season. That's just his 26th strikeout.
Ahead of Stubbs, 0-1. Can't let this get by before we get off the air. Congratulations to Michael Jordan. Goes into the Basketball Hall of Fame. There's a squirrel on the field. Just ran into the Cubs dugout.
He's underneath the boxes right there that Lou and the staff have their notebooks set up on. I think he scampered under there. Farm it.
A little home away from home. Michael Jordan once played here at Wrigley Field when he was in the White Sox organization. That was the Crosstown Classic when it was an exhibition game. And he picked up a hit off Dave Otto. A roller to short. Theriot scoops, and the throw, like the ball slipped out of his hands a little bit, and it'll be an infield hit for Stubbs, who runs well, and the tying run will come to the plate.
And just a little jam shot to that left side. The best chance was Ramirez cutting in front and making the play, because, as you said, Stubbs runs extremely well. Theriot had to throw back across his body and just didn't have a good handle on that ball. One hopped it to Derek Lee, but Stubbs was well past the bag at first for an infield hit.
Swing and a miss by Janusz. I don't have to tell you who's on deck. Seems like every time the Cubs are in a safe spot, the other team's most dangerous hitter is lurking. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Votto over there on deck.
Votto 1 for 4 lifetime against Carlos Marmol with the strikeout, and the one hit was a homer.
Johnny Cueto and Randy Wells tomorrow, and then we'll have game 3 right here on WGN. Sunday afternoon, Homer Bailey and Ted Lilly. Gets by, takes away the double play opportunity and a wild pitch. Or a pass ball.
There's no question that ball hit Coy Hill's glove. It was well wide of the strike zone right there. Would have probably been called either way.
You always prefer wild pitch.
Absolutely.
Careful, guys. Ryan Dempster trying to find that squirrel. Ball 4. Here comes Votto. Fastball has been changed to a wild pitch. What did you do? Did you call Don Frisky?
I just gave him a look.
Well, I'm sure Coy Hill will appreciate it.
Well, you know, with Carlos Marmol's herky-jerky delivery, when he does pull one wide of the strike zone, it's tough not only for a hitter to react to the pitch, but it's tough for the catcher to react as well.
There he goes. Swing and a miss. An awkward looking hack by Votto. And Carlos Zambrano. There's a squirrel onto the field. I say maybe Z brought his dog back to the park to chase a squirrel out of the yard. Yeah, go bother the Reds. Oh, I love it. Out of the way.
Fun at the old ballpark.
Tom and JD down there working the cameras. They had no idea that the squirrel was headed their way. The kick, the 2-2. He struck him out on a slider.
I'll tell you, Len, even though he's got a couple of knocks in the ball game today, we have never seen this Joey Votto before. That's his 3rd strikeout of the game, and all 3 of them, plus his 2 base hits. Very awkward looking defensive late swings.
Two outs here in the 9th. It's Brandon Phillips. The Cubs leading 6-4. The pitch to Phillips, swing and a miss. And a slider. Two strikes to Phillips. The kick, the pitch. That's foul. Phillips is 1 for 15. Lifetime against Marmol. 5 strikeouts. Another 0-2 inside. 1-2.
Coy Hill wanted that fastball up. We've talked about that high cheese. A lot of the Reds hitters have been chasing fastballs up above the letters. That one chased him right out of the strike zone.
Fly ball right field. This is Bradley. Cubs win. So they start the homestand with a